This program has been rated I squared for inept inquiries.
Hi, it's Total Boredom, also known as Owen, with the Inept Inquiries podcast here with
Jonathan.
So this is a special podcast episode because we're actually at the airport preparing to fly out. We're going to record the podcast at our destination. We'll see you guys there. Hello there, inquirers. This is going to be a little review that we're going to put in here.
I give this podcast 4 stars because of the intellectual conversations they have.
We did not at all prompt her to say that. And furthermore, to clarify, free will, definitely. Could you clarify how many out of how many stars? 4 out of
5 stars.
That's reassuring.
Based on my 1 minute of review, I give this podcast 3.5 stars.
Out of how many?
5.
That's reassuring. Okay, we're back. Here we are in the hotel. It's kind of crazy, guys.
It's not really a hotel. It's just a house with weird apartments.
One of those Airbnbs where they illegally, I don't know if it's illegal, but like co-opt the local hotel industry by just having it in their house.
A house with a million
All of our
rooms.
neighbors look at us really weird because
there's one guy that was listening to some music, fixing his boat, and we were about to say some grace or something, and then we're like, "Oh hey, dude," and then he just completely ignored us.
Dude,
he must hate everyone that stays in this house.
I would, honestly. It's based. Anyway, we got a list of things to do. But starting off, we wanted to look at a review from the last podcast, which we published, our pilot episode. Nathaniel reviewed us with 4 stars.
That's crazy. That's good.
Out of 10.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Not fantastic. And he said that it was better than he expected.
That kind of redeems it, though.
But that, just implies that he really didn't expect
anything. Especially if it's a 4 out of 10.
So,
for those who can't do math, that's a 2 out of 5.
Thanks. So, with that out of the way, I guess we gotta step up our game, John.
Yeah, I think we should. And
Okay.
What should we start off with? Pick one from the list.
Let's go with AMR Water.
AMR Water.
Okay. It's a hot topic. Okay. So, for those of you who aren't in the know, basically, somebody poisoned the watering hole, as Woody would say. Tom Hanks, played by Woody, Woody, played by Tom Hanks, would say. Anyway, our water's poisoned. We can't drink it.
Your water's
My
poisoned.
water's poisoned.
I have a geographical exception to go to our school. I live far away.
Dude, literally.
I'm cool.
Cheating.
My water table does not have jet fuel in it.
So my water's got petroleum. No, we don't know that it has petroleum. It doesn't smell like it's got petroleum, but you really
People are getting rashes, they're getting sick, and they are testing the water, and they're saying, there's something in here.
There's literally petroleum in here.
There is something in
Starts
here.
swirling around. If you guys want to test if there's petroleum in your water at home, grab a lighter, pour out a glass of water, and then tilt it down, and if it flares up, chances are
You have petroleum.
You have petroleum in
in your water.
water.
You shouldn't be drinking that. So basically, I'd say probably our school is 70 or 75% military kids.
Yeah.
And of that, 90% of them live on 2 bases.
Yeah.
And both of them are affected by this water. So a solid half of our school doesn't have water.
Doesn't have water at home. I mean, again, probably 10% of the school is actually affected by actually having water. They can smell it, but 15% of the school cannot.
Aren't allowed to use their water just in case.
Just in case. So they had to dish it. It's like Flint, Michigan all over again.
Yeah.
Except the government actually cares this time.
Maybe. They haven't done anything yet.
Maybe.
They're saying, hey, we might move you into hotels.
They're giving us... They gave us a bunch of bottled water, I guess.
That's okay, but...
Bro, this situation is getting out of hand. I haven't had a shower in months.
I think that was by your own free choosing. If it's months, it's only been going on for 2 weeks.
Nah, dude. I knew.
You
I was
knew?
prepared.
You opened the pipe. No, you didn't. You didn't shower. So then you opened the pipe, so no one else would shower. So it'd be normal for you to not shower.
Normal. The long con. Poison my own water supply, so I don't have to maintain my personal hygiene.
I honestly, I give you props.
Bro, you're laughing about this, but in like a week and a half, the jet fuel is gonna reach the city level aquifer, and everybody on the island
Is gonna die. It's just like Kailua. Kailua got sewage leaking out into their bay, and now all of the Honolulu area is just gonna have jet fuel in their veins. It's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna be moving supersonic.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Bro, the U.S. is gonna invade us.
Again. We're gonna get like quarantined, bro.
Quarantined twice. Hey, at least we won't have Omicron. Instead, we'll have
True.
petroleum.
Petroleum poisoning. Like that's any better.
It rains so much here. Imagine it just starts raining oil.
I would not doubt it.
Bro, someone tries to light up a cigarette outside and
Explode.
explodes.
You know what? I think it's probable.
Probable.
No. Honestly, I almost feel like the way that it's been handled, this could be a big old conspiracy theory.
This could be.
Because it's just so suspicious that
It is.
only those 2 military bases are mainly affected.
Very sussy.
And then it's a pipe break, but we don't know where it is, and then they can't tell us if it's jet fuel, if it's gas, if it's petroleum.
Whoa.
They're kind of...
There's some missing parts.
And speaking of conspiracy theories, we figured it'd be kind of cool if we both thought about conspiracy theories we could actually subscribe to.
I think everybody believes in like one conspiracy theory.
Everyone's got like one where they look
they-
at the facts and it doesn't seem too improbable.
They're like, this doesn't match up. There's a couple
Yeah.
of pieces missing here.
Would you like to give an example?
Okay, so a conspiracy theory that I kind of believe in, and this is definitely ripped off of Interstellar, is like moon landing and like the space program.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some fake footage and stuff there.
There's a whole ocean where they could have landed that thing and hit
Yeah,
it.
like
Just sink it.
there's so much stuff there, like a soundstage to record. That's kind of like genius, and you intimidate the
Mr.
Soviet
Beast
Union.
made Squid Game in literally 2 weeks. Who says they can't fake the moon
Yeah,
landing
the
in
US
like
government.
5 years?
Yeah, it took them a while, but like you're really trying to tell me that like my cell phone has more power, computing power, battery power than the entire space rover, and that thing went hundreds of thousands of miles across space.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, bro, in the 60s they didn't even have like PEMDAS figured out. You're trying to tell me that they rebooted.
They didn't know if they should go multiplication or addition first. They didn't know yet.
And you're trying to tell me that they managed to send these guys into space?
A vacuum.
Of
death.
Millions
Millions
and radiation.
of miles.
And radiation. Bro, they didn't
Not
even...
millions of miles.
It's hundreds of thousands
Hundreds
of
of
miles.
thousands of miles.
And they just were like, yeah, this sounds good.
Yeah, they'll believe it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, seeing how it goes now, yeah, I think space travel is possible. But just look at it. It gives them a lot of power over the Soviet Union if they fake it, because then the Soviets just demoralized. And think the Soviet Union should have already won. They were the first guys into space.
Yeah, why do you think because the Soviets they had such a higher control over their resources. They had geniuses too. They had manpower. They would kill you if you didn't work for them.
Command economy.
They would literally tell you what to do. And if they couldn't put a guy on the moon, how the fuck did we? How did we?
It's like, yeah, okay, democracy triumphed. Thanks, Kennedy.
And speaking of that transitions perfectly into the conspiracy theory, I believe.
No.
I watched a video the other day where a guy used the exact same replica gun and used a similar bullet and used a ballistics dummy and caught the bullets. And let's just say, this stems from a post Joe Rogan made, the best podcaster.
The best podcast.
Following his footsteps.
Bro,
we're just gonna have a lot of bad takes.
We wish we could be him.
But he posted a picture of the bullet that allegedly shot JFK, and this thing had it was perfect. There was no... So, okay, back to JFK. But this bullet, nothing was deformed on it, right? This was a perfect looking bullet. It didn't even look like it was shot, because when you shoot a bullet, it still gets messed up, even if you catch it. Like, if you shoot it into water, and you get it perfectly, it's still messed up from being fired, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of pressure. And he shot it into the ballistics dummy, and it definitely deformed more than the bullet, but it didn't deform as much as you think. It didn't, crumble.
Whoa.
But, yeah, I mean, I could show you the picture.
There's something going on here.
But it literally looks the same. But adding to that, a lot of people think it was the CIA because he was exposing things the CIA knew. He was anti-communism. He was faking the space stuff. Who's to say if he couldn't fake the space stuff, CIA could have faked his death. You know what I mean? They could have. And there's there's a whole argument with the angle of it, and it was moving, and the guy wasn't like a skilled marksman, but somehow he hit a moving car from a weird angle with a gun with no like super crazy specs, you know, and it was he acted alone.
It's like come on, the whole like two shooter conspiracy.
On.
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't add up there. What if we're just missing the obvious, and it was the Soviet Union?
Like, that's another part of the conspiracies. Maybe it wasn't the CIA. Maybe it was the Soviets or the Cubans.
Or they worked together.
Or, yeah.
What if they just were like, hey, you help us get this guy out of commission, and it's like
we won't shoot you with those missiles in Cuba, and CIA went.
Maybe that's how they de-escalated the Cuban Missile Crisis.
And maybe JFK didn't actually say anything.
He was
maybe
like the sacrificial lamb.
He was the sacrificial lamb.
He was like the Cuba. Jesus that got saved, because the Cuban Missile Crisis could have easily been World War III.
The thing about that was everyone thought he handled that genius. He negotiated his way down. No, it's because we had missiles in Turkey, and no one knew about them up until like a couple decades ago, like a decade or two or something like that.
Well, that's the reason that the Russians wanted to.
That's why they put them in Cuba.
Like, bro,
because we had them in Turkey.
You can't just post them.
And then what happened was when we negotiated it down, we just said, "Oh yeah, we'll take ours away if you take yours away." So everyone thought JFK just got them to take away the missiles. Look at him go.
And then it's
and
like,
the CIA's
okay,
like, "No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Bro,
let's kill him." That's what they said.
I don't know. What if it wasn't the CIA and instead it was like the Postal Service?
Santa. It's almost Christmas.
It is almost Christmas.
Could have been him.
You know who? I was thinking about this. Jeff Bezos could literally be Santa Claus. He has a drone fleet.
He has a drone fleet.
Billions of dollars.
Wow.
He has Amazon distribution centers all over the world. He could send out drones to every
Amazon can tell you you're pregnant before you know.
They could
it
find
can
exactly
base off
what you
of
want
your
for
searching trends.
They know exactly what you want for Christmas.
They will literally send you what you want to your house directly in the middle of the night, and it's optimized.
And
I think you should do that. That'd be nice.
Jeff Bezos
be a nice
could
Christmas
do that.
present.
Jeff Bezos, do that. Okay, we know that Mackenzie was bullying you, but you got it, man.
Next, I've got one we're going to end on, but then next, we're going to talk about volcanoes and why people don't run from them.
Yeah, so it's just like we're islands, right? In case you guys haven't doxed us yet, we live in an island chain.
Yeah.
And volcanic island chain.
Yeah.
So volcanoes are a big part of like the things here, because you like literally say Malcolm Mackay. You're like towards the mountain, away from the mountain. Towards the volcano, away from the volcano.
You live on an old mountain.
You live on a volcano.
An old volcano.
You live on a volcano.
Yeah.
Right? It's a really big, wide volcano. And so the question is, why toward the volcano? Why do people live near a volcano? And why is it that when the volcano erupts, they stay there?
Because it was seen... Because we were talking about it earlier, how here on the Big Island, you know, what happens is when it erupted, like some time back, there were people that were like, no, I'm going to stay here. It's not going to hit my house. Guess what it did? Got their house. And same thing with Pompeii. Tons of people lived in the city. You didn't find a bajillion bodies there, because if they were there, it wouldn't have become that perfect cast, because they had warnings. Like, there was the blast, sure, but that might not have just killed everyone, bro. People would have been safe, and they would have gotten out of the town. And it's shown that not a lot of people stayed, right? They only found a couple, like, bodies when you look at how many people would have lived in a city that size. And it's because they all left, but people came back or they stayed. And why would they do that?
And that's probably part of the reason why we remember Pompeii, is because so many people fled.
Because so many people fled, but we found all of those people that stayed.
Yeah, and it's like the next town over, so this legend transfers down, and then eventually they're digging around. And
if we hadn't found those people, we would just been like, oh, look, this cool little city. Oh, it's kind of covered in stuff.
It's like
but the fact that there's people, and we like took molds of their dead bodies.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because all the people that were there, it was like people that couldn't leave the city, and then there were, because it was like old people, young people, injured people, because they couldn't really leave. Where were they going to go? But then it was also, there were young, healthy, strong people. They chose to stay.
There was like a gay couple, wasn't there?
Something.
Or like two
bros. They think so. They can't tell exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like two bros in a loving embrace.
Chilling in a hot tub.
Last thing.
5 feet apart.
I don't think they were 5 feet apart.
No.
I think they were
hugging
they were hugging it out. I mean, that's a good way to go out.
I'm not gay, but I would hug you if we were down to a volcano.
That's fair.
I think
ideally, we would be the ones running away from the volcano.
Yeah, but in some world where we're the anti-vaxxers, no, the volcano's fake.
It's a plot by the liberal media. It's the volcano agenda.
Lastly, we're going to leave you off with the spicy one. Picture in my room.
Guys, what do you think the picture in his room is? We're going to reveal it next episode, but it's something crazy.
So
okay?
basically, there's a picture that sits in my room. We were talking about it, like, should we talk about this? And I really want to talk about it because it's really weird. I want you to guess what is in the picture. Like, what is it a picture of?
Describe it.
And if someone gets it, either one,
You'll be
I'm
a
scared
Your
because
guess
there's no
better
way
than-
they guess
yeah,
it.
No way.
Or two, I will give you $10 if
No.
you guess it accurately.
Guest on the next podcast.
Guess on the next podcast.
Automatic guest. Now, we already have a guest list set up, but, like, if you guess it somehow, or you're, like,
You can become the guest.
the closest person is
Yeah.
going to be preferred on the guest list.
Yeah.
So make sure you put
Make sure you
comments.
either tell us in person, or you send us a text, or
Comments down below. this
comments down
video.
below on this video.
Please,
It
comment.
can be anything. You could say 100 different comments of 100 different things to increase your chances.
True.
I'll look through each of them.
True.
Because I did that.
True.
But I liked posts.
True.
And that was
okay.
the
That's a bit too much lore.
We'll talk about that
talk
one
about that
some
later.
other time.
Another time. So yeah, guys, if you did somehow, you're the 1% of viewers, unironically 1% who has the audience retention to stay through the entire video. Literally, like 3, maybe 1 person watched the entire video. So if
and
you
they
are
could have just put it in the background and forgot it was
maybe
there.
could be. If you are, we're gonna say a secret code word, and I want you to comment this on every single post in the comments. The code word is Cheeto. I want you to put Cheeto in the comments and on every other comment, okay? And
That's how we'll know.
This shows that you actually watched the video. And if you skip to this part of the video and you heard that, you're cringe.
Mhm.
But I mean, at least you're watching it, so.
True.
See you guys next time,
Yep.
and stay bored.
Yup.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching the Inept Inquiries podcast. If you missed our last episode, well then, bam, there's a link. Go watch that one. And the next one will be coming out soon. Make sure to comment what you think Jonathan's picture is. See ya. Hi, it's Total Boredom, also known as Owen, with the Inept Inquiries podcast here with...
Jonathan.
So this is a special podcast episode because we're actually at the airport preparing to fly out. We're going to record the podcast at our destination. We'll see you guys there.